basically tells you how you can go ahead and put your phone to the night shift. Some of y'all have it as dark display and night light. All right. So this way you can get rid of the blue light. Because in case you like, I didn't do anything, so I'm good. But it's for my eyes and for my melanin. I protect my eyes and my melanin. That's the reason I'm saying this. Okay. But for whoever has done something they ain't supposed to do, it's not only for your eyes. All right. If you're an outside nation, I don't think you got to worry about your melanin too much. I mean, I don't have a lot, but you do have to worry about if you did something you ain't supposed to do. And if you did something you ain't supposed to do, then you can turn into a you know what with that blue light and eat your family. So that's not what you want. So this is how you get rid of that. Okay? So don't eat your family if you did something you ain't supposed to do, y'all. All right, for the ones that did do something they ain't supposed to do, you need to go ahead and go to settings. From settings, you go to display. From display, you're looking for night, light, and also you're looking for a dark theme. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, y'all, pay close attention to what this brother is telling you, because this brother is telling you facts. Okay, he's a young brother, and he's doing pretty good. I will say that. But anyways, besides that, just pay attention to what he say. Remember what I said too.
Phone, this is what you need to do so you don't go blind by the time you 63. Most of all the electronics that you use that uses artificial lights uses the fake blue light to fuck up your eyes. And what they do is they disrupt the melatonin levels in your body, causing all type of problems. Even though you don't feel pain, that don't mean you're not straining your eyes. If you look at this spectrum, you can see that it's closer to invisible radiation. So you're literally frying your eyes every time you're on one of these electronics. So here's what you need to do. You need to go to your settings, go to display and brightness, and go to night shift mode. And I want you to copy these settings. But the more you put it to the right side, the more visible and the less your eyes will strain. The more on this side, the more your eyes get messed up. So I would just put that on whatever setting that works best for you. But you need this on. Peace, y'all, boys. Hey, if you always on your phone, this is what you need to do so you don't go blind by the
From around the world.
Issue. There we are.
How you doing, Mike? How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, and it just changed. Okay, now I'm back on the headset here. What in the world was that?
What was going on, Mike? Yeah, I don't know.
Technology at its best.
And those who operate it. Hey, okay, Mike, let's talk for a minute. So glad you're here. We got some big things to ask you, but you may have some big things to drop on us as well tonight. So, but we want to start with Hawaii, Hellfire. I mean, this is awful. This is really awful. And we do have, we checked on our online church members that live there in Maui, and they are okay. They were not in that part of the island where the fire was, so thank God for that. But Mike, it looked like the perfect storm. It was dry, and then here come a Hurricane Dora and blowing the wind just enough to fan the flames. What happened here?
You know, I was shocked, kind of surprised at how dry the Hawaiian Islands are, period. There's no green. I mean, you look out there, I mean, it dried big time. These heat waves that keep coming through the exposure of the earth to the sun and its radiation are killing the foliage. That's a very shocking thing, because it's just a very shocking thing. And so with a combination, I believe it was a combination of dryness, right?
Yep.
The foliage is already brown. If any spark, anything.
Listen, BRICS, aka Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are launching their own currency, not backed by gold. So not a promissory note, but actual backed to gold currency standard. This is crazy for us. For the ones that built this country, the ones that live in this country, America, this is a crazy outcome. What do y'all think is going to happen to the U.S. economy when Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa launch a new currency soon backed by gold? Comment below. Listen, we got to get financial freedom now. We got to get cash flow now, because a new world order is on the way in real life. Hey, fam, get a load of this right here.
Bill Gates said what he said. So if you don't want to get it by now, maybe listen to the fact that he mentioned that his father was a part of Planned Parenthood. If his father was a part of Planned Parenthood, what was the objective of Planned Parenthood? He said his father. You're talking about in the 30s now. You're talking about someone by the name of Margaret Sanger, who was the founder of Planned Parenthood. What did she say the purpose was? Margaret Sanger, who was an honorary Klanswoman. Margaret Sanger, who used to give lectures at Klans rallies talking about the population of Negroes and particularly has to be lessened. Margaret Sanger, who said that, quote, Negroes are like human weeds and should be exterminated, end quote. Margaret Sanger, who in a black and white interview with Mike Wallace said, quote, I believe the greatest sin is to bring a child into the world, end quote. And you're saying that the number one problem right now in the world is overpopulation. You are a goddamn lie. You're literally a liar. There's over 196,940,000 square miles of planet Earth, 57,255,000 square miles of and 139,655,000 square miles of water. Who the hell are you playing with? And you're telling me that 7.7 billion people occupy all of this land? No, we do not.
They scared of you,
You ever
bro.
drove through Texas?
They scared of that.
You can't fool us no more. You ever drove through Texas? You ever drove through Nevada? You ever drove through Oklahoma? How much empty space is out there? We ain't overpopulated. We are densely populated. Too many people are trying to live in a certain place. That's the problem. But there is tons of land, brother, all over this planet. It is plentiful. So knock off the depopulation tactics. And what is it? Bill Gates said what he said. So if you don't want to get it by now, maybe listen to the fact that he mentioned that his father.
In 2005, is it true that J.P. Morgan released information directly indicating that it directly benefited from slavery? Would the representative from J.P. Morgan respond?
I do believe that in 2005, we made a report about potential transactions that involved slavery between J.P. Morgan.
Who? How many times they gotta say his name, y'all?
Or its heritage companies back in the 1800s.
What? In fact, there was an indication.
Did he say 1800s? Did I hear that right? Did y'all hear?
I believe that you accepted loans against
Against who?
slaves as collateral. True?
I believe that to be true, yes.
Oh, wow.
For edification purposes, have any of the other banks compiled a study as to whether or not you have benefited from slavery? If so, raise your hand, please. Let the record reflect that none have raised a hand.
Yeah, but they all benefit from slavery, though. That's a fact. Same ones that own Hollywood is the same ones that own the banks. The same ones that own the banks is the same one that run the currency. Come on, y'all. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. Anyhow, that video's done anyway. Sure did bill for free, didn't we, y'all? Didn't we?
Everything. Look at him. Right?
Supposed to be fish, y'all.
The insides of it is like a diaper material. Look at that. You know, like a wet diaper? Right? Now watch this. Now where do you know a fish? You can squeeze it like a sponge like this. Where on the planet you know you can squeeze a fish like that? Now look. Put it back in the water. And it's whole again. It's a fish. Beware, people. They killing us. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is a slice of...
I'm trying to get off this damn thing. Could be that was founded by who? Founded by who? Pay attention. Wait for it.
Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They released 50,000 genetically modified mosquitoes. For what purpose? I don't know.
Beware the mosquitoes.
But now, for the first time in 20 years, malaria has entered Florida.
Hey, malaria.
The conspiracy is the new mosquitoes that he introduced were supposed to kill mosquitoes that carried malaria.
And since they released these mosquitoes, so far from what I know, there's been 5 cases of malaria. 4 in Florida and 1 in Texas.
A swing and a miss, Bill. A swing and a miss.
Stop messing with the bugs and stop doing all this stuff.
Going after the tank.
Wow. He finally told the truth.
That's about
Listen.
negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot
what? Wait for it.
get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
I'm just saying.
AT&T, they're closing one of their flagship stores downtown. The list of major brands announcing their departure from downtown San Francisco keeps growing. Nordstrom's closed.
Who? Nerdstorm's closed. What? That's big in Florida if you don't know.
About Nordstrom closing its stores on Market Street in downtown San Francisco.
The entire store was stripped of all high-end goods. And I asked one of the people who worked there what had happened. They said that the company now considers it a, quote, urban store, and that the more expensive merchandise is to be found in the suburbs.
Y'all know what urban mean, right? Negro.
These are entering stores at all hours of the day, and some are making off with up to $1 million. The latest robbery on Saturday in San Francisco. Nordstrom stealing goods and smashing shelves. 13 suspects ran into this Louis Vuitton store, grabbing $120,000 in purses and other items.
Governor Newsom, he's talking trash on Florida and Texas. Everybody's fleeing his state because your Democrat policies. Won't y'all be
Today is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. Today we will be viewing FAA weather camera videos that show 2 different planets in a stable orbit around the Earth. We will be calculating the approximate size and distance of one of the 2 planets. Also, the Lord wants me to share some very important words, so please watch till the very end of this video.
Now, if she says anything about Messenger or anything, you already know. Don't listen to all that. If she says any names, don't listen to that part of it. Just chew the meat, spit out the bones. All right? Just get the information that you can get. Because you know how people are sometimes.
The purpose of this channel is to show viewers that we are living in the very last days according to the Holy Bible. Our first set of images was taken by the west-facing FAA weather camera located in Seeley Lake, Montana, just the day before yesterday on August 13th. As you can see on this map, Seeley Lake is located in the northwestern quadrant of the state of Montana. Each image in these videos is 10 minutes apart. We don't see much here in these images because the atmospheric chemicals in this area of Montana are so thick that they are blocking out everything that you and I are not supposed to see. Even with contrast applied, it's difficult to see the large, close planet that's actually right there, smack in the middle of this image. In the last few frames, it completely disappears into the atmospheric chemicals out of sight. However, only 48 miles away is Missoula, Montana, where the atmospheric chemicals were not as thick the day before yesterday. By road, it's an 81-mile drive from Seeley to Missoula, but in a straight line, it's only 48 miles away. This same celestial object is much more clear when viewed from Missoula, Montana, only 48 miles away. Viewability of these objects depends upon the thickness of the atmospheric chemicals. Back to the Missoula, Montana video. Here we see a very detailed celestial object with a fast rotation and very obvious craters. We know this cannot be a lens flare of the sun because of its fast rotation and heavily textured surface. These are signs that we are living in the very, very last days. We're living in the very last minutes of the last days. This object can be seen from many FAA weather cameras, including Mississippi, Colorado, Alaska, and other FAA camera locations, as we've seen in the past several times. This object was proven to be between the moon and the Earth in our video from February 5, 2022. It is eclipsing both the moon and the sun daily, as shown in that video from February 2022. That same video explains in detail how daily eclipses occur, but no one sees it. Here's a close-up of that same object, viewed from Missoula, Montana. Notice that many craters are on the surface. Also notice that located in the center of each crater is a white plateau or mountain created by the impact of the asteroids pummeling the surface of this small planet or moon. Take notice of the approximate height of these white structures. They look very high. That's why they show up as a large white dot in the middle of each one of these craters. They're very high, and they have to be high in order to show up on these FAA weather cameras. This same thing happens with craters on our moon. Notice the approximate height of the mountains or plateaus in the center of the moon craters. It's important to notice they are not nearly as high as the top edge of each crater. These structures are located in the center of each crater, but are not nearly as high as the mountains in the center of each crater on the image from the Missoula, Montana FAA weather.
Greatness has to say about Christians celebrating Halloween. So a lot of Christians, they think there's nothing wrong with, celebrating Halloween and all this stuff. And Casey, you being in Satanism and God delivering you from that, healing you and bringing you freedom, what are your thoughts on that?
October 31st is like the ultimate day. It's like Christians, Easter, and Christmas all rolled in together. The celebration usually starts at dusk and goes on. The golden hour is 11 p.m. to midnight. That's when the most demonic forces are out and about and active. People should not participate in any way, shape, or form because you are worshiping the devil. There's no two ways about it. I mean, he's real happy that Christians allow their kids to serve him one night of the year.
If you want to learn more about spiritual warfare, click follow or subscribe. Let's talk a little bit about Generation X, the generation so terrifying they couldn't even give it a fucking name. So Gen Xers were raised in a very interesting period of time. They were raised by baby boomers, so they knew a very older and maybe kind of feral way to exist and live their life. But then they were also old enough, so when the internet and a lot of new technology started coming out, they also knew a lot more. So they had this kind of ability to cherry pick the best traits of baby boomers and millennials, which makes them some of the most dangerous fucking people in the world. Most of the Gen Xers I knew either went to the military, went to rehab, or went to jail. That means the ones that are left are fucking survivors. So for as many changes in music and style and culture that you think you've been through, in the last 50 years, they've been through the most. Also, mental illness wasn't trendy back then. So any kind of mental illness that they had, they usually didn't get any treatment for it. So they had to learn how to cope with it themselves. Medications weren't as delicate or as effective back then. And that leaves you with some very fucking interesting people. Get yourself a Gen X friend, but they'll probably just tell you to fuck off. Let's talk a little bit about Generation X, the generation.
In 1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States.
Let me know if this sounds familiar.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable buildups as fascist or Nazi. or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind. In 1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States.
Let me know if this sounds familiar.
When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable buildups as fascist, or Nazi, or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell.
Sound
the
familiar?
Association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind. In
Listen.
This is why I say it's time for everybody to start growing their own food, but really get out of the cities so that you can grow your own food, because they got laws now against you growing your own food in the cities.
As an artist, you're looking for a creative community that can inspire and challenge you to take your work to the next level. At Full Sail, you'll get that and a
even the fruit, y'all. We're doing something to the fruit now.
Ooh, this one's going to sting a little bit. Fruit recall because of why? Hepatitis A. If you happen to shop at Costco, Walmart, HEB, all the way back to July of 2022, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be getting that checked out. You know it's a big deal when the company comes out before the FDA and starts pulling their stuff off of all the shelves of all these places. And it says right here, grown in Mexico due to the potential for hepatitis A contamination. Not good. I'm going to give you the places, the items, the dates, the states, everything you need to know. Coming right up. If you're brand new here, welcome to our awesome community where we do prepping tips, emergency preparedness how-tos. We occasionally go over a few reviews, but most importantly, we deliver awareness-style news, stuff that you should know nearly every day. If you find value in that, be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Now, I had a couple community members send me in on this one. I think Jack, Serena, small handful of people, and when I started reading into this, now I know why it's a big deal. So like I said, why is it a big deal? Because it's probably going to be affecting a lot of people. A lot of folks are going to be checking out what they've bought all the way back till mid last year. And I'm sure a lot of folks are going to be in question about hepatitis A. Now, I'm going to give you guys places, states, dates, everything that you need to know to kind of hone in to see if you might be a victim of this. But first, let's go over this quick article so you guys know how it's being put out to the rest of the world. Then we're going to hit the FDA site with some facts that you probably should know. So I'm seeing a lot of articles on smaller news stations, nothing real big, but this is a big deal because these are main things that you see, main staples that you see at Walmart, Costco, 25 News Now's headlines, frozen strawberries, fruit blends recalled over potential hepatitis A contamination. Already, I'm seeing great value brand. And if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, this video right up here, eye-opener. Make sure you watch it. I'll leave it at the end of this video and in the description below. As you can see right here, a few things. The FDA says the recall is for select packages of frozen fruit containing strawberries grown in Mexico from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. I'm telling you, a lot of folks buy this stuff. This short article reads, a voluntary recall has been issued for certain frozen strawberry products due to concerns for hepatitis A contamination. The United States Food and Drug Administration says Willamette Valley Fruit Company of Salem, Oregon issued the voluntary recall from Monday for select packages of frozen fruit containing strawberries grown in Mexico. I I know personally a lot of folks that buy these for their smoothies. The recalled frozen fruit products were sold as select packages of Great Value sliced strawberries, Great Value mixed fruit, and Great Value antioxidant blend at Walmart stores in 32 states. Additionally, certain packaged of Radar Farm Organic Fresh Start Smoothie blends sold at Costco wholesale stores in Colorado, Texas, California, and Arizona from October 3rd, 2022 until June 8th of 2023. And the Radar Farms Organic Berry Trio products distributed at H-E-B locations in Texas between July 18th, 2022 and June 8th of 2023 are being recalled voluntarily. You know what that means? I bet they're trying to dodge some lawsuits. That's a long time, folks. A lot of people have already been eating this stuff for months. Wouldn't you think with this frantic move, there'd have to be some sick people out there already, right? But no, check out what it says. The FDA says there have been no illnesses reported yet that may be associated with the voluntary recall. Customers who purchase the recall frozen fruit can throw the items away or return it for a refund. If I have to throw this stuff away, I'm definitely getting my money back. Signs of hepatitis A exposure can include fatigue, jaundice, dark urine, pale stool, and liver failure in more serious cases. Definitely been feeling some fatigue lately. Let's run that list by you one more time so you can pay attention to if you have felt fatigue, jaundice, dark urine, pale stool, and liver failure in the more serious cases. Not trying to alarm anyone, but you gotta know what the symptoms are because a lot of folks have been using these things. I'm telling you, everything that's going on out there, like I put in these two videos right up here, you gotta be on your defenses and be paying attention, reading labels, know what's going on, following people like me on YouTube, awareness channels, awareness news, because if you're not paying attention these days, you're gonna wish you had. Okay, before we jump into the facts, remember, these items right here are the ones that they're putting up on the news channel. Let the community know down in the comments below if you've recently bought any of these things, because we'll get a movement going down in the comments, and we'll find out if there's any hot spots in any of these certain states. And if you happen to cut out early on us, don't forget to share this out to like-minded folks that can use this information. This is key information people should know. So you go to the FDA, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration site, and you can look at their article. It says company announcement, Willamette Valley Fruit Company recalls Great Value sliced strawberries, Great Value mixed fruit, Great Value antioxidant blend, Radar Farms Organic Fresh Start Smoothie Blend, and Radar Farms Organic Berry Trio because of the possible health risk. And right here in red underneath that it says, when a company announces a recall, market withdrawal, or safety alert, the FDA posts the company's announcement as a public service. FDA does not endorse either the product or the company. All right, I know you guys want to know what states and dates go along with this. All right, guys, Walmart right here. If you bought Great Value sliced strawberries, Great Value mixed fruit, or Great Value antioxidant blend distributed to select Walmart stores in these states right here, from Arkansas all the way to Wyoming, alphabetically, I think there's 31 states, and this was between January 24th of 2023 to June 8th of 2023. Push pause, go look in your freezer and make sure you don't have this stuff, because you're either going to want to take it back and get your money back, which I recommend, or toss it. You don't want to risk no hepatitis A from Mexico. I definitely don't do much time at Walmart, but we do hit Costco. So for all you guys out there that hit Costco, right here, Costco wholesale stores, Radar Farms Organic Fresh Start Smoothie Blend distributed to Costco wholesale stores, Colorado, Texas, California, and Arizona from October 3rd, 2022 and June 8th, 2023. So again, hit pause, go to the freezer and check for Radar Farms Organic Fresh Start Smoothie Blend. This is not cool. This is the type of stuff that I probably need to go check to make sure I don't have. I mean, I try to get as much natural stuff as possible, but we do smoothies, and I got to make sure I don't got anything from Radar Farms. For those of you that shop at H-E-B, Radar Farms Organic Berry Trio distributed to H-E-B stores in Texas from July 18th, 2022 to June 8th, of 2023. Again, a long gap. A lot of folks probably ate these during that time. For those of you getting this message now, you got time to go check. And again, I'm a little bit skeptical about this, but it says to date, here have been no illnesses associated with this voluntary recall. Recalled products including the following. So here y'all go for Walmart. You got lot numbers, best by dates. Screenshot this right now. Make sure that you are double checking your packages. And moving on to Costco and HEB, get ready to take another snapshot regarding the Radar Farms. You got all the lot numbers and the best by dates right there. You guys should be able to cross-examine everything that's in your freezer. Big deal, folks. Nobody wants no hepatitis A. The FDA adds consumers are urged to check their freezers for the recalled product, not to consume it, and either discard the product or return it to the store for a refund. Products that have a different lot code or purchase dates are not subject to the recall. And I know some of you might want a little bit more information. Right here, you can take a snapshot and call Wilmate Valley Fruit Company and their 1-800 number right there and the times that they're open if you have any additional questions. And again, if you guys want to know what that looks like, here's just a couple of the packages that we're referring to and the best by dates by Great Value and Radar Farms. This is not great news to hear because I know how many people buy this stuff, but at the same time, it's good news so that you have time to go check your freezer. Again, please share this out to like-minded folks, people that might want to know about this. I sure in the heck appreciate warnings and awareness on stuff like this. Please give the video a thumbs up if you found value with this. Let me know your 2 cents down below. I got 2 other really good videos if you haven't seen these yet. My favorite, very informative videos of the last month. I'm happy to be able to get you guys important information like this, take care of you, bring you awareness and some good need to know stuff. As I always do, like always, as I know